Take a look at this. Erling Haaland, Ryan Cherki, Phil Foden. 7 straight wins. 14 victories in their last 17 games. 41 goals scored. The highest scoring team in the Premier League. Manchester City are back, and they're absolutely terrifying again. But here's the thing that should make Mikel Arteta lose sleep at night. This isn't the same Manchester City that Arsenal has faced before. This is something completely different. Something faster, hungrier, and more dangerous than anything we've seen from Pep Guardiola's side in years. Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you might sound impossible. Just 6 months ago, Manchester City finished third in the Premier League. Not first, not second, third place. They were 13 points behind the champions. They got absolutely demolished 5-1 by Arsenal at the Emirates. It was a humiliation, a disaster, the kind of result that makes you question everything. Pundits were writing them off. Fans were panicking. Kevin De Bruyne left for Napoli. Ederson packed his bags for Turkey. Kyle Walker, the captain, went to Burnley. The dynasty looked dead. Finished. Over. But if you've learned anything about Pep Guardiola over the years, it's this. Never count him out. Because right now, as we head into the most crucial part of the season, Manchester City have hit a form that is genuinely scary. They've won their last 7 matches across all competitions. They're sitting second in the table, just 2 points behind Arsenal, with a superior goal difference. And the most terrifying part, they're not even at full strength yet. Rodri, John Stones, and Jeremy Doku are all coming back from injury in January. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why Manchester City are back to being title contenders, why this version of City might be the most dangerous yet, and why Mikel Arteta should be absolutely bricking it right now. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about just how good Manchester City have been recently, because the numbers are absolutely ridiculous. December 10th, they go to the Santiago Bernabeu and beat Real Madrid 2-1. That's a statement win if I've ever seen one. December 14th, Crystal Palace, away, 3-0, comfortable, clinical, Haaland and Foden doing their thing. December 17th, Brentford in the EFL Cup, 2-0, Ryan Cherki scores an absolute screamer. More on him later. December 20th, West Ham at home, 3-0 again, Haaland with a brace. That puts him on 19 Premier League goals in just 17 matches. 19. We're not even at the halfway point of the season. 7 consecutive wins. 41 goals scored in the Premier League, the most in the entire league. They're averaging more than 2 goals per game. And defensively, only 16 goals conceded, which is just second in the league. But here's what makes this run even more impressive. They did it while missing key players. Rodri, their defensive anchor, has been out with a thigh injury. Jeremy Doku, their chaos merchant on the wing, has been sidelined with a calf problem. John Stones, the hybrid defender midfielder, has been dealing with muscle issues. And yet they're still winning. Convincingly. Now, let me paint you a picture of what happened against Liverpool on November 9th, because this match perfectly shows how Pep Guardiola has completely reinvented this Manchester City team. Liverpool came to the Etihad as defending champions. They had the swagger, they had the confidence, and Manchester City absolutely dismantled them. 3-0. It wasn't even close. But it wasn't just the scoreline, it was how they did it. City used what analysts are calling the box midfield. Basically, their wide players, guys like Jeremy Doku and Ryan Cherki, instead of staying wide like traditional wingers, they drift inside. They invade the central areas. Suddenly, you've got 4 or 5 City players in the middle of the pitch, all within 15 yards of each other. Liverpool's midfield couldn't handle it. They were outnumbered, overwhelmed, and when Liverpool's defence contracted to deal with the central overload, City's fullbacks, guys like Nico O'Reilly, had acres of space out wide to exploit. It was a masterclass, a tactical chess match where Pep Guardiola was playing 4D chess while everyone else was playing checkers. And this is the scary part for Arsenal. City are only getting better. They're figuring out this new system. The chemistry is building. And when those injured players come back in January, good luck stopping them. Now, let's talk about the man who's making Arsenal defenders have nightmares. The Norwegian goal machine. The absolute monster that is Erling Haaland. Let me say that again. 19 goals in 17 games. That's more than a goal per game. He's on pace to break his own Premier League record of 36 goals in a season. But here's what's different about Haaland this year compared to previous seasons. He's not just a goal scorer anymore. He's become a complete striker. 4 assists in the Premier League. He's dropping deeper to link up play. He's involved in the pressing schemes. Remember that Konate trap I mentioned against Liverpool? That was Haaland marking Virgil van Dijk, forcing Liverpool to play the ball to the weaker passer, and then City pouncing on the turnover. He's thinking, he's adapting, he's evolving. And physically, this might be the best shape of his career. He's clocked at 36 kilometers per hour, making him one of the fastest players at City. He's built like an absolute tank, and his finishing, clinical doesn't even begin to describe it. But let me tell you about the Manchester derby on September 14th, because this performance sums up everything about Haaland right now. City won 3-0. Haaland scored twice. He dominated Manchester United's defence. De Ligt, Yoro, Shaw, it didn't matter who was marking him. He was unplayable. First goal, a perfectly timed run, clinical finish. Second goal, pure strength, holding off defenders, slotting it home. He should have had a hat-trick. And here's the kicker. He now has 11 goal contributions against Manchester United. The derby just brings out the absolute best in this guy. Now, Arsenal fans, I want you to pay attention to this next stat. In the matches Haaland has played against Arsenal, he's been directly involved in multiple goals. He scored in the 1-1 draw at the Emirates in September. He's made it clear that he loves playing against top teams. And with City's new direct style of play, where they're bypassing the press and hitting forwards earlier, Haaland is getting more opportunities to run into space. And when Haaland is running into space, it's game over. The man signed a contract extension until 2034. He's only 25 years old. Arsenal are going to have to deal with this guy for the next decade. Sweet dreams, Mikel. But Haaland isn't doing this alone. Because Manchester City have found their new creator, their new playmaker, the guy who's filling the Kevin De Bruyne-shaped hole in this team. His name is Ryan Cherki, and he's been absolutely sensational. City signed him from Lyon in the summer for £36 million. A lot of people were skeptical. They called him a luxury player. They said he wouldn't fit Pep's system. They predicted he'd be one of the biggest disappointments of the season. Well, those people look pretty stupid right now. 6 assists in the Premier League. That's second for the most in the entire league. 11 total goal contributions across all competitions. And he's only played 12 matches in the Premier League with just 7 starts. Let me put that in perspective. He's creating a goal or scoring one almost every single game he plays. But it's not just the numbers, it's how he plays. The guy is completely two-footed. Defenders have no idea which way he's going to go. He can dribble past you on the left, cut inside on the right, thread a through ball with either foot, or smash a shot from distance. There was a stat that came out recently that said over 56% of his passes, crosses, and shots are with his weak foot. He might be the most two-footed player in the Premier League. And his chemistry with Phil Foden. Chef's kiss. When these two start together, Manchester City score a goal every 30 minutes. Compare that to City's season average of 1 goal every 38 minutes. That's a massive difference. Pep Guardiola has set them up in an asymmetric shape. Foden plays slightly deeper on the left side, driving forward from the half spaces. Cherki operates on the right as a false 9 or number 10, drifting onto his left foot to create. They're like two magicians working together, pulling defenders out of position, creating space for each other, and feeding Haaland chances. Let me show you the goal against Sunderland, because this perfectly captures what Cherki brings to this team. Cherki gets the ball on the right side. He's surrounded by defenders. Most players would play it safe, pass it backwards, recycle possession. Not Cherki. He does a Rabona cross. A Rabona. With his right foot wrapped around his left, he whips in a perfect cross that Foden heads home. It was outrageous, audacious, the kind of play that makes you jump out of your seat. And that's what City have been missing since De Bruyne left. That unpredictability, that creativity, that magic. Arsenal's defence is going to have nightmares trying to figure out how to stop the Cherki, Foden, Haaland triangle. Because if you focus on Haaland, Cherki and Foden will pick you apart. If you press Cherki, Haaland will run in behind. If you sit deep, Foden will bang one in from 25 yards. Pick your poison. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The thing that Mikel Arteta and every Arsenal fan is desperately trying not to think about. History repeating itself. Because we've seen this movie before, twice, and it doesn't end well for Arsenal. Let me take you back to the 2022-23 season. Arsenal were flying. They led the Premier League for 248 days. They looked unstoppable, young, hungry, playing beautiful football. And then April happened. They drew with Liverpool, drew with West Ham, drew with Southampton. 3 consecutive draws when they needed wins. And then the killer blow. They went to the Etihad and got destroyed 4-1 by Manchester City. The psychological damage was done. City finished with 89 points. Arsenal finished with 84, 5-point gap. Title gone. Okay, Arsenal fans said, but we'll learn from that. We'll be stronger next season. Fast forward to 2023-2024. Arsenal did improve. They took 4 points off City in the head-to-head matches. They won 1-0 at the Emirates. They drew 0-0 at the Etihad. They were better defensively, more mature, more experienced, and City still won the title. 91 points to 89. A 2-point margin. City went on an unbeaten run from December to May and just ground Arsenal down. It was the 4th consecutive Premier League title for City. The first English club to ever do that. Historic, legendary, and absolutely devastating for Arsenal. 3rd time's the charm, Arsenal fans said. This is our year. Well, about that. Here we are in December 2025. Arsenal are top of the table with 39 points. City are second with 37 points. 2 points gap. Sound familiar? But here's the difference this time. City have momentum. They've won 7 straight. They're scoring for fun. And they're about to get Rodri, Stones and Doku back from injury. Arsenal, meanwhile, are showing the exact same pattern as previous years. Fast start, build a lead, and then January is coming. The fixtures get harder, the pressure mounts, and Manchester City, like a shark smelling blood in the water, start circling. City have a superior goal difference. That could be crucial if it comes down to the final day. And let's not forget, Pep Guardiola has 6 Premier League titles. Mikel Arteta has 0. Guardiola knows how to close out a title race. He's done it over and over again. Arteta? He's bottled it twice. The psychological advantage is massive. Every time Arsenal drop points, every time they draw a game they should win, the ghosts of 2023 and 2024 come flooding back. Here we go again. And Manchester City, they're just getting started. Now, let me explain why this version of Manchester City might be the most dangerous one yet. Because Pep Guardiola has completely reinvented how this team plays. For years, City were all about possession, dominating the ball, slow, methodical build-up, death by 1,000 passes. They'd have 60-65% possession and just suffocate teams. But last season, that stopped working. Teams figured it out. They'd sit deep, stay compact, and hit City on the counter. And without the pace of Kyle Walker to recover, City got exposed. They finished 3rd. So Pep did something radical. He changed everything. This season, City's possession is down to 57%. They're playing faster, more direct. And here's the key. They're not trying to complete every long ball. They're aiming for second balls. Gianluigi Donnarumma, their new goalkeeper, launches 9 long passes per 90 minutes. Most of them don't find a City player directly. but they force opposition centre-backs to head the ball back into midfield, where City's attackers are waiting to pounce. It's chaos. Controlled chaos. And it's working. Against Liverpool, City won 3-0 because they dominated the second balls. Cherki, Foden and Reinders were winning every loose ball in midfield and immediately attacking. City have also become one of the best teams in the league at fast breaks. They're joint top for goals scored from fast breaks. That's insane for a Pep Guardiola team. Remember when people used to say City were too slow, too predictable? Not anymore. Now they're hitting you with long balls. They're countering at lightning speed. They're overloading you centrally with the box midfield. And if you try to press them high, Haaland will run in behind and destroy you. It's like Pep took everything that worked against City last season and said, okay, now we're going to do that to you. And Arsenal? They're built to play possession football. They want to control the game, dominate the ball. But what happens when City don't let them? What happens when City bypass their press and hit them on the counter? We might find out very soon. So, let's bring this all together. Manchester City have won 7 consecutive matches. They've scored 41 goals, the most in the Premier League. They're sitting second in the table, just 2 points behind Arsenal, with a superior goal difference. Erling Haaland is on pace to break the Premier League goal-scoring record with 19 goals in 17 games. Ryan Cherki is second in the league in assists and forming a devastating partnership with Phil Foden. And Pep Guardiola has completely reinvented this team's tactical identity, making them faster, more direct, and more dangerous than ever. Oh, and by the way, Rodri, John Stones, and Jeremy Doku are all coming back from injury in January. So City are about to get even stronger. The next few weeks are crucial. City face Chelsea at home on January 4th, then Manchester United away on January 17th, then Tottenham away on the 1st of February. If they can navigate those fixtures without losing ground, they'll be right on Arsenal's heels heading into the final stretch. And here's the thing that should terrify Arsenal fans. We've seen this before. Twice. Arsenal build a lead. City chase them down. And when the pressure mounts in the final months, City's experience and mentality shine through. Pep Guardiola has 6 Premier League titles. Mikel Arteta has 0. Guardiola knows how to win title races. Arteta knows how to lose them. The psychological scars from 2023 and 2024 are still there. Every time Arsenal drop points, every time they fail to win a game they should win, those memories come flooding back. And Manchester City, they're just waiting, watching, ready to pounce. This isn't the same City team that won the treble. It's not the Centurions. But it might be the most complete version yet. They can dominate possession. They can counter-attack. They can grind out 1-0 wins. They can blow teams away 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. They're a Swiss Army knife, and they're coming for Arsenal's throat. So, Mikel Arteta, I hope you're sleeping well, because Manchester City are back. They're hungry, and they're absolutely terrifying again. The blue renaissance is here, and the Premier League should be very, very worried. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe, because we've got more football content coming your way. We'll see you in the next one.